which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I heard you not put the comment back on the gun. So Bob's coming on it.
Here. Connie Stegall. Todd Beecham.
Here.
Henry Wood.
Here.
Matt Mangus.
Here.
Lance Johnson.
Here.
Terry Allen.
Here.
Randall King.
Here.
Andy Anderson.
Here.
Zach Johnson. Nick Peterson.
Here.
Joe Ross.
Here.
13.
Let's see here. You ready? Reading and approval of the previous minutes. You guys have a few packets of meeting from September 9th, 2025. So, my son's he's on my iPad. Make a motion to approve by Jackson. All right, Joe Ross. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, all right. This time, offer the floor to public comments on anything on this agenda or to the public. If you got something to say or to address the commission, now is your time to speak. Got a full house tonight, so I appreciate you guys being here. All right, anybody want to come up and speak? All right. Unfinished business number 6. We'll give you guys an update. Jack, you made a comment last meeting about a sound system. I met with the company Monday. I'm supposed to be giving us a quote. Hopefully we'll have something for the December meeting for you guys to take a look at. New business, 7.1, Good Idea Solar Project. You guys have a counter offer. I believe Mr. Ian Gorski is here. Kevin, we've had an opportunity to look at this. So we'll rely on you guys. Ian's comments. Go ahead and state your name for the record, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you having me here. So we've iterated on this a few times, negotiated a little bit. You have my email in front of there, so minutes. But essentially, where we're at right now is we've gone from initial letter of intent of 30-year lease down to the last iteration, which was in September, we negotiated a 5-year lease with 5-year options. That's another number as well. The counter offer is going to be for 500 acres for the first 5 years, which is probably a little bit less now, but then the project would actually be free and clear. From the initial offer, that was going to be in a period between 5 and 7 years at a lower rate of the land rent. And the initial offer was a 3% discount to the criminal justice center on their power, increasing to a 4% discount on power whenever the project was free and clear. So now the counter offer is going to be for the lifetime of the project, which is approximately 30 years, will be a 5% discount for the criminal justice center. So we've increased there. And we're going to give you the bottom of the 5 and 7 years. So for the first 5 years only, it will be 500 per acre on the 5 acres. You know, the side note, because of some of the federal government's decisions, we're only going to use about 2.5 acres, and we'll reserve the 2.5 acres for expansion should the climate change as the industry goes. So you're looking at 500 acres for the first 5 years, and then that increases to a floor of 4,500 an acre for the next 25 years, or 15 years, depending on what we come up with for an actual return on the land lease. So the sticking point here for us is we cannot get a solar project financed for less than a 20-year term on land control. So TK offers a dispersed power production program, DTP. It only offers a 5-year contract, and that's the reason we can't work for DTP. So we need behind-the-meter customers like Henderson County in order to get projects off the ground. And also, then you guys get to reap the benefits. Instead of the original 25% profit share. Mr. Carter and I have talked, and we felt that the county's better interest for the county if we went with a straight land lease. Working on it that way, buy some profit share, 25%. So this is going to come up pretty close to the 25% number. Usually in the past, I'll say past 12 months, we have pulled the numbers from election assistance this August. But in August, just throw some numbers at you. We're looking at an average $5,233 an acre over the next 30 years for that 5 acres. And again, that's a sandbag number that doesn't account for the increase in the cost of electricity, and also doesn't account for the increase in property taxes you would see in that facility. Also, what else? So it's about $26,000 a year, plus or minus, scale of inflation and cost of energy. So that brings me to my next point was, the last meeting is, I guess the motion was made and approved to scale this land lease with the CPI. Well, dug into the CPI, and the CPI has outpaced the cost of electricity in Henderson County by about 3x over the past 5 years. CPI has risen 24.5% thereabout, whereas Lexington Electric's cost of actual service of electricity is only risen 8.5%. We're looking for more of an apples to apples, apples to oranges comparison, where we're looking at electricity versus CPI. We don't look at land lease for electricity for the cost of electricity. So that's kind of what we got. Towards 4,500 a month after the first 5 years, and then jail to get the 5% discount for the entire 30 year of the project. And we are kind of against a little bit of time limit here because we're looking at July 4th, 2026 to save harbor some of those tax credits. That's what we're running on the struggle at this point. So I'm open to any questions for the commission.
If we get everything there.
When will the project be in service?
That all depends on how EPA, TVA, Lexington Electric, and how quickly they are able to conduct the tests.
Is it your understanding that the rental will start at the time you actually use electricity?
So we had the option period, which is going to be $500. Exactly, and then the land rent would then be the $500 per acre for the first 5 years. Annually. After we well, if I keep it below 2 megawatts, which is like 0.75 megawatts AC, and get you in the TVA fast track, you have to go through their longer queue, which would take up 3 to 5 years. So we're looking to get the project commissioned operational for 12 months.
Approximately 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know,
And this will have to do with the lease, but you said the life of the project is 30 years.
yes. Well, the converters are 15 years, the panels are rated 30 years.
But at the end of 30 years, what's normally, we'll talk about what we get at that time. A lot of people will be, but what's going to happen to the land at the end of 30 years?
Well, I would like to say that we would retrofit it with the newest technology and go for another 30 years. However, Tennessee in April of 2022, Governor Will Lee passed public HCC 866, which is referred to as decommissioning law. We have provided that to General Counsel. I think Ms. Beal provided that to before they swapped positions there. But it only applies to solar facilities of 10 megawatts or greater. However, we can apply that to this project. And the way that works is we will then provide Henderson County with a bond saying that we will restore that 5 acres to its current condition at the end of the lease, term of the lease, should you not want to extend and continue to produce power there and have that stream of revenue. So the way that goes is 5% of the cost of decommissioning is put aside at the time the project goes into service. And after 10 years, we'll have you up to 50% of that. And after 15 years, the entire cost of decommissioning will be
And so at the end of it, if we don't keep using, it'll go just like it was today.
Yes, we'll remove everything and go back to bush hog. Yes, sir.
Land probably in better shape on it.
If we graze sheep on it, will be, the soil will be a lot more rich. Any other questions?
I got a question, it's probably not really directed to you, but I may have asked Victor about it. Is this land possibly needed for something at the sheriff's department before the time is up that they're done with it? What's your thoughts on that?
Can't answer that, because I don't know what he's talking about.
The land where the solar field would be behind the sheriff's department.
About EMS tower, when we do.
They was talking about some power lines and some state systems. Power lines across the state. That may be what he's talking about.
No, it's the fire department tower right directly behind the building.
That's the tower for all of us, all of us.
Apparently,
They got the right one.
I think they're looking at installing a new tower for the state system.
That's a state system.
Just be clear, we're not going to insert that tower.
Yeah.
It will be.
What I'm curious about though is there a possibility within the time frame, if we sign a contract with your company to have this land, what happens if we need that land?
Well, again, we're only using land use, 2.5 acres to due to circumstances involved over the past 12, 15 months. So, I mean, we can come back to the table if you need to do 2.5 acres to the south. We have agreed to put battery energy storage systems or anything like that, or expand with more panels. We get active in that metering or something approved by TVA, we can potentially power more than just the jail. We can power this courthouse, we can power fire stations, everything they agree that active in that metering. Currently, we don't have that vehicle in the industry to do that. So there's a lot of variables to play there, but, again, that 2.5 acres to the south, probably something that will follow homeowners this way. And if you guys had a dire need for it, we'd probably come back and fix it off the other way and stick our 2.5 acres to do it. That's just me spitting on it.
Yeah, I was just curious, if we're not in a contract on this land, we need it for something.
Again, we're not using it for, we want to use it for nothing.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of have it set aside and y'all need to, I assume that, we can be reasonable enough that we're going to get it.
You know, if it wasn't needed to put those tires up like you talked about, it expanded, would that affect the solar field?
The shadow that the tower's going to cast is not going to affect it significantly.
So that they could coexist out there.
Yeah, we're going to coexist with the tower that's currently there.
Kevin, you have something?
You think you're only going to need 2.5 acres?
Total cost of the project,
We're like $1.93 per watt right now. Until that comes down a little bit, so we're looking about 1.4 million. Plus or minus. We're doing 75 megawatts AC.
You don't put any dirt work out there.
To be determined. I mean, just looking at it, just eyeballing it, I don't think we will. It's got a nice southern slope on that northern portion, which is exactly what we're looking for. Not too steep, not too shallow. More than likely, the pilings will just get driven right into the ground. We need this land lease, improved land control, to move forward with everything else that follows. Full tests, soil tests, EPA tests, interconnection studies, So this is kind of like, as you build your own adventure, this is the next step.
There's a lot of steps too. There's a whole too.
Correct. There are. Yeah, and we haven't talked power purchase agreement yet. I'm throwing 5% out there as a discount for the jail. That'll be a separate agreement. So just because you entered into this land lease right now, we give you $500 for the next 18 months, 2 years. In the grace period, there's nothing saying that, if they find that's a refuge for rare bats, that could take this whole thing off the table. So we're going to play by the rules of all the acronym agencies, TVA, EPA. Any other questions?
Kevin, can you, call out some time to come down to the next meeting and
sit down with the end and draft up something for the county commission has to have a legal document in front of them. Make that happen. Our next meeting, is December 9th. Okay, in a few weeks. So we can, allow some time to kind of, we can actually look at it.
That way we can try to find it.
Yes, sir. I just want to make sure that whatever we put on paper from tonight, when we get here, we vote on what's on paper. Making a fine tune. All right, that's all I've got.
Reach out to me, talk to me there. Look at that. Also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
7.2, broadband infrastructure grant agreement with Spectrum. In your packets, you'll see a broadband infrastructure grant agreement between Henderson County and Spectrum Southeast LLC. In Exhibit A in the packet is page 6 of the agreement. Spectrum has provided an agreement providing at least 120 megabyte speeds to the following project area. This project will extend high-speed service to approximately 65 locations in the northern portion of Henderson County, north of Interstate 40, and west of Tennessee State Route 22, along the Carroll County border. The funding is $100,000. If you look at the payment schedule, 50% is due upon execution of the contract, and then within 15 business days from the date of written notice, the grantee of activation of the project, the other 50%. So I've been working with Spectrum for about a year and a half now, and they told me they had several projects working in the county, on the south side of the county, they had several on the north end. They stopped just short of a pretty large community. They have several churches out there, several homes that don't have internet connection. Carroll County is not interested, and to my knowledge, everyone that's along this route has Carroll County Electric. They're not showing any interest at the moment for expanding internet service. Lexington Electric does not cross the interstate at the crossroads, and this area is east of southwest Electric. So it's basically a void in the area, and these residents, people living there, the church communities, they're only reliable on the satellite internet. So had a meeting, went back and forth, and they came back with a proposal. The total project's $300,000. They asked Henderson County to pay a portion of $100,000. Megan and I, we've gone looking at the books. We have already paid the city of Lexington Electric their portion of the ARPA money that this board allocated. There was a portion, I believe, Megan, it's $52,500. 47,500 on the other end of it. 47,500 is what was earmarked to pay the Southwest. I corresponded to Southwest back and forth. They're not billing us for that portion. So the recommendation is that to include that area, to wrap it up, is the allocation that was meant for Southwest of $47,500. We transfer that over to this project, and we cover the remaining balance out of our general fund to get internet out to that area, which would be a total of $52,500. Yes, sir. Got a motion? We got a motion right here. We get the discussion. Got a second. Okay, go ahead.
Now, would the school board be interested in possibly joining us with this?
Potentially, but we've got the funding now to take care of it, and I'd hate to take funds away from the project the school's got going on to cover something that, at the end of the day, we're responsible before as far as the money's going towards the same. Yeah, so the $52,500 I said general fund is not, it's actually out of our ARPA funds where we gain interest on it. So the money's sitting there. We've done really good at collecting interest. So the money's there, there's really no cost to the county. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. So, any other questions?
Do we have to spend that ARPA money by the end of this year?
So that ARPA money has already been, classified as lost revenue. Yeah, so you've already spent it because you classified it as lost revenue at the time. It's just set aside in a separate fund and we're still calling it ARPA money.
Yeah, we're living on some interest. Question? Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Jeff James.
Yes.
William Porter.
Yes.
Tommy Clay.
Yes.
Todd Beecham.
Yes.
Aaron Wood.
Yes.
Mac Manus.
Yes.
Blake Snapper.
Yes.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Randall King.
Yes.
Andy Anderson.
Yes.
Jack Johnson.
Yes.
Nick Peterson.
Yes.
Joe Ross.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Congratulations to people who live out in that area. Only thing I have to say, no more late homework. Thank you guys again for being patient with the county commission. We worked through this. There was a lot of moving parts, a lot of parties, I think our representatives who helped organizing some of this. So it's been one of the projects that it's been fun to work on. So I actually can't wait to see it get to go. I'm going to move on to, if you guys like to leave, you can, or you can stay for the rest of the meeting. But 7.3, Evermore Public Library.
No, you're good.
The Connected Community Facility Project. Go ahead, we'll take a moment. Go ahead, come on over. All right, as we're 7.3, everyone, public library. So the Connected Community Facility Grant, we've got an approval of award to Barber Construction in the amount of $1,068,400 with an optional add-on of standby generator in the amount of $65,000. This time, Megan, you want to take it from here? Not you speak, man. Speak loud.
So originally we had thought we were over budget by $116,000 and some change. We were able to go back to the state and ask for additional funding for the grant, and they provided $120,000 additional. And they also changed our match percentage. So our match is now 10%, and it's actually less than it was. And it will only cost the county an additional $1,000, a little less than $1,000. It's like $932.50 additional based on this bid. And there's also other possible cost-saving parts inside of the contract with Barker that we potentially do as the project proceeds. But right now it's only looking at a little less than $1,000 extra for that part, and then also there's a $65,000 generator that would have to be decided on by you all, whether we would do that or not. But that's what I have.
Kind of get you up to speed on this project. Like I said, there was a shortfall. We went back to the ECD. They approved the additional funding. Actually gave us a little more than was requested, which is good. I believe, Crystal, you guys are moving December 1st.
Yes,
If
so,
approved.
yes, so the library will close to the public on November the 21st. We will have 5 working days to box up the library and get everything to go ago, and then 5 working days after we get into the Auto Grid Fairgrounds building to get it set up. So 10 total days that would be closed to the public. We have been working very diligently. With each passing day, I'm more confident about the move, but I'm also more stressed about the move. There's nothing like thinking about how to transport 30,000 books to a new facility in a chaotic, organized fashion. One of the things that I am asking for today is we did not put into the grant funds for renting a new, or to be in another facility.
We'll get to that in a second. Let's approve this contract before we talk.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, so the Connected Community Grant in the amount of $1,068,400. I'd like to separate this into 2 discussions. We'll pull the generator out, talk about it separate. But I'd entertain a motion for the grant
I
project.
got a question right quick, maybe. Do we have funds set aside to reopen them?
Yes,
I mean,
there's-
everybody knows every project
Right.
overrun.
There's contingency built into the bid of $1,068,400. So there's already a project contingency there.
So we got it covered.
Yeah, and I think there's a few other places that they can modify. They kind of went overboard to get the original bid.
Good question.
We've already, were able, I think we had $40,000 in security and cameras, and we've already got that down to between 12 and 15,000. So we're already saving.
Since this bid coming,
Correct. Because I have state through the Tennessee Library and Archives, we have an IT department. And by going through the library's IT department, that's where we're gonna be saving our money through that.
I like people stay on top of it, that's good.
All right, so I entertain a motion.
So the motion would be to approve the bid with an additional $1,000 needed without the generator.
So you're just approving the bid and approving that you will add an additional $1,000 in your match. So your match is already $55,000. So this would be basically $56,000, or a little over 56.
This is not for the generator.
This does not. Make a motion to approve with the add-on of $1,000. So make a motion to approve the $1,068,000. Make a motion first. Joe, you understand what the motion is? Tom, second. You understand that? To approve the $1,068,400 for the bid, in addition to the increase of the match by $1,000. Good. All right, any discussion on this? All right, call the roll.
Tommy Page.
Yes.
Todd Beecham.
Yes.
Aaron Wood. Mac McDonald. Blake Snow.
Yes.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Randall King.
Yes.
Andy Anderson.
Yes.
Jack Johnson.
Yes.
Nick Peters.
Yes.
Joe Ross. Joe James.
Yes.
William Clark.
All right, now, the also add-on to the standby generator in the amount of $65,000.
Who's putting it in?
All construction leaders will.
Do you have backup generator now?
We do not. The reason we discussed the generator to begin with was when we had the ice storm 2-3 years ago. Our little patch of land had electricity, and we were able to open up to the public as a warming station for the entire weekend. My staff came in, volunteered, and we were able to stay open until 10 p.m. each night for people to come in and check their emails. We provided children's programming, that kind of stuff. One of the things that we talked about is with our emergency management offices on this side of the county, it gives us an opportunity to there for our community, on the west side of the community, for, just that. So, emergency management needed to set up a facility there, we would have that available.
I think that is, that's what we need to do. I think we're doing that right. Does the water plant, does it have generator for it? It does.
I think city's split 50-50 on the grant. But this is going to be outside because it's a limitation. I would ask, but I don't see the city. I've talked to Crystal. They have found some monies, and they're going to be about $25,000 short. Potentially, but there may be savings inside of the contract. We can, but the lead time on some of these generators are several months. Sir? Yeah, I'd recommend go ahead and stuff out for it.
Yeah, I'd say do the electrical for you, and hold off to the generator for the project, you see if it was in the savings, we got that for days.
We can kind of wait 6 months into the project, kind of see where we're at.
So the city's not paying for having to do that. Is that what you're saying?
We haven't approached the city yet about paying for anything other than the electric rate.
As of right now, I think I've come up with around 40,000 between the savings and the security system, and our Evergreen Trust Fund last year, was larger than we expected, and we went ahead and took a chunk of that and set it aside for this building program. So we're looking, we've got approximately $40,000.
It's nothing to go wrong here in the project.
But that's not counting any of the contingency funds that are already built in. That's not touching any of those contingency.
What I don't want to do is straight on any of our project fund for a generator. I want that facility to have everything it needs to provide library services. In the event we have additional monies, then I'm okay with that fund generator. And if the city's, that's going to be a conversation we can have later. But you guys are the bosses, so.
Is part of construction under the assumption that they're going to do all of the pre-work for a generator?
It's in the drawings. The only thing we're going to have money for is purchase the generator.
Potentially, I would like to see what other savings we can get out of the contractors, before we. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to waiting until like December, but if December meeting, at that point, we would know a little bit more.
Would you go to the city and ask Rodney for the next meeting?
Do whatever they want to do. They got a meeting at the end of November. Before our next meeting, December 9th. So if they want to split that 50-50, we did save several months of money by going back to the well, getting $116,000 without dollar.
We've got a work session scheduled for 10. Well, so we can discuss that.
I mean, potentially, every part we do,
So,
about 15, $25,000.
How about we postpone this for here to the next meeting? That's it. Everybody go over there? No, I'm going to answer that. And maybe we'll have a better idea of exactly dollar-wise. I'll get with you and see, hey, what's the real bottom line number? All right, item 7.32. This is a request to pay 1 month's rent to the fair board for the library, and specifically to the fair board. We're going to affect our payments of effort to the library and things like that. I believe you guys have asked.
So the city, we've asked the city, the school board, we've asked multiple, the Lions Club, Rotary Club. As of right now, we've received $17 towards that. And it's just because where we're at, we have no mortgage, we have no utilities, we have no rent. So So to put us into a situation where we have to start paying $1,200 a month, we don't have that in our.
Has any other entities, the school system, or any municipality contributed yet?
So far, we've got, Henderson County School Board and Rotary Club.
So two, some of the full 1,200.
But we just started asking, Sequel Consent is handling that.
Fire board didn't offer you a monthly rent, just.
Do what?
The fire board didn't offer you a monthly rent.
I am very grateful to the Fair Board because they're giving it to us for $1,200, considering they're renting it out for like $3,000 a weekend right now. So I'm trying not to.
Would it go over a month? Would it go over a month?
So we are looking, they originally told me 6 to 8 months, then they came back and told me 4 to 6 months. I've been telling everybody 5 to 7, we split the difference.
In your package, there's a request from the library, just requested us this a one-time allocation.
So the funds, if we do not get rent to cover that, that will come out of that, the trust fund money that we set aside for the building project.
Made a motion to approve, Todd second, funded one time. Yeah, that's true. 1,200, yes.
Pay to the third.
Pay to the third. Any discussion? All in order?
Bob Meacham.
Yes.
Abram Hill.
Yes.
Matt Manning.
Yes.
Blake Stanford.
Yes.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Randall King.
Yes.
Andy Anderson. Yes. Jack Johnson.
Yes.
Nick Peters. Yes. Joe Ross.
Yes.
Jeff James. William Moore.
Yes.
Tommy Page.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Right.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the photos of the sneak peek of, it hasn't been touched in 22 years, so hopefully this will carry us through the next 20.
Thank you, Chris. 7.4, county employee Christmas bonus. Thank you, everyone.
Calculated, Christmas bonuses on the $500 amount per full-time employees and $250 for part-time employees. And that excludes anyone that's not eligible, so commissioners, elected officials, exempt employees, that sort of thing.
About 500 full-time.
500 full-time, yes. You should have a breakdown in your packet.
Which one's the amount of them?
Yes.
I like that.
All right, got a motion, Jeff James, second, Todd Booth. Any discussion?
On the budget.
Yes.
Call roll.
Matt Manning.
Yes.
Blake Stanford.
Yes.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Randall King.
Yes.
Andy Anderson.
Yes.
Jack Johnson.
Yes.
Nick Peterson.
Yes.
Joe Ross.
Yes.
Jeff James.
Yes.
William Porter.
Yes.
Tommy Page. Tommy Stone. Bob Meacham.
Yes.
Aaron Wood.
Yes.
Good. Right. Item 7.42, three-star award contract, up to $250,000 on back for the Henderson County Courthouse lawn gathering space. This is a grant that, Chamber of Commerce wrote, that I encourage and have support to upgrade our back of our courthouse lawn, where we have many gathering spaces. Just going to upgrade the sidewalks, have about a 60-foot wide path all the way to the courthouse, and step up, plant new trees, and really freshen up the back.
Technically, better news.
It's on the word.
We're playing around now.
No, we actually match the max for it. We can't put bids out until it's approved, so.
You give us that information. You give us that information like you did on the library.
Oh, yeah. Actually, y'all have to approve it.
You don't have to fit.
That's what we'll come back.
Well, Christian's not here, it's something she felt really passionate about, a lot of the programming and things, changes we did, just being able to help and accommodate crowds and things that we did. I know she's not here.
Motion second, any more discussion? Call roll.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Robert King.
Yes.
Andy Anderson.
Yes.
Jack Johnson.
Yes.
Nick Peterson.
Yes.
Joe Ross. Jeff James.
Yes.
William Porter.
Yes.
Tommy Page.
Yes.
Todd Beechman.
Yes.
Aaron Wood.
Yes.
Matt Manus.
Yes.
Blake Stanford.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Moving to the election commission. I'm trying to make a few updates because I took some things off. I didn't get a chance to print out new copies of the election commission on your packet. I took that off the agenda. We've got some individuals around the county that want to run for vacated constable positions. Being that there's more than one, and we're so close to the election to come up, so picking up papers for qualification, I took it off and allowed them to run the normal process, and that's not the point. However, after the paper turning deadline for qualification, if there's only one person in that district that runs, we may revisit this and appoint that person in prior to the election. But I just want to make sure we're not giving anybody any special looks without doing it fair. In hindsight, we should have read this into the paper and advertised that, hey, these are positions that someone's interested forward. So we'll catch that next time. My recommendation is, any recommendation, I took it off the agenda. So, for that. Notaries, we do have a list of notaries in front of you. I entertain a motion to approve those. Terry Allen, so Jack. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, entertain a motion to adjourn. Yeah, all that, make sure you, they're all on that, and also Dr. Bill, Keith Barber, Rick Tree, and Keith Rowland.
On the east side of the going up considering where they